general for Jessica. All right. I just got the word pristine. It feels like something's being buffed or shined, or it's ding, a little sparkle happening. I don't know if this is representative of your personality at all, or something that you were looking to have more of in your life. Things being, it's not even just that they're tidied up, or that it's like a deep clean necessarily, and like getting rid of like yuck or things that are not working or toxic. It's more just about the sheen. There is some risk of, if we're just focusing on getting something shiny enough that it can have that sparkle, that it's superficial and we're not actually deep cleaning it. We could just be cleaning the surface. So I don't know if that whatever area of life this is speaking to for you, but just keeping in mind that just because we buff the surface of something a lot doesn't mean that we've cleaned it. that it's purified. That's the word that's coming through. It doesn't mean that we got to the root cause. It doesn't mean that, cause what I'm seeing now is like, it's a carpet. So it's like, if you, you just kind of, it's almost like sweeping the carpet, like, oh, I got like the dog hair and, obvious dirt and dust. It's like, but then below it, like at the bottom, it's like everything's collected and it's like actually really dirty, but you don't see that. And you wouldn't see that until you actually did the deep clean, or you got a replacement rug and then you realize, oh wow, this really did have a lot of wear and tear. There's some sort of like the need for contrast to really understand like how deep it goes. So emphasis on not just doing top level cleaning, not putting the sheen on something just for show, just to present well, or whatever outcome, like if it's to appease or appeal to somebody, that again, the sheen doesn't always last, or it could be seen through because there's just other stuff lurking below the surface, things to be attended to. I am being brought to what we were talking about this week for our collective readings. So for the second collective reading, we're talking about engaging with different healing modalities. I don't know where you landed with that, Jessica, if reading number 2 resonated, or it sounded interesting, or it sounded like stressful. Like if you had any sort of strong reaction to it, it's potentially an indicator that it might be something that you want to consider doing to really get deep down into the roots of what's happening. Again, the card was talking about connecting to your truth versus what's happening on the surface. I keep getting over and over again the visuals of it's cleaning it, but it's just the clean for other people. It's like, when you have guests come over and you're like, okay, let me like fluff these pillows and like kind of do this. You didn't like really deep clean. You just kind of made it presentable-ish. And so like, it's like making it passing. It's that kind of energy the whole time. Let me know how that is landing, or if you, and you don't have to share, but if you happen to know what area of life this is pertaining to, if this is more just about general practices. I'm a Virgo. Enough said. I got you. That's funny. Happy almost birthday. Friday. Oh, exciting. Okay, happy birthday on Friday. Yeah, because it just, and for Virgo traits, and so I'm a Virgo moon. I and the moon rules my chart, so I get the Virgo stuff. I have a lot of friends who are Virgos, and so really how it's coming in is, as someone who is a Virgo, it's like you do have a drive where like you want to make improvements. So it's really just, if you just make yourself aware of the fact that it's really gross and dirty down there, you're gonna be like, oh gosh, I have to attend to it. So it's just even just you acknowledging that the rug in this example could be deep cleaned, that it could be improved. That's a really important starting point, because so that's the connecting to your truth. If you don't know that it's there, you think that you're doing a good job and you're like doing the thing that you should be doing. But when we have that presented in front of us of, oh, what I could do better or how I could improve, then okay, great. Now I have something I can adjust and work towards. Card card with this. This is the adapt card. Um, funny for Virgos, but my instincts keep me adaptable in the face of any obstacle. So the reason I'm laughing is because it's like, um, not necessarily, I mean, Virgo's a mutable sign, but it's like we're not necessarily like the most flexible, because we want to have a routine, we want to have a system and a thing that's like gonna work out. But the piece about the obstacles I think is super important. So in this situation, whatever it is that's coming up, that is the challenge, that is the revelation, the realization that we have of, oh, okay, well, I actually wasn't really getting to the root. What's the healing that I need to do? What is it that I've learned about myself that I need to tend to? Another thing that it tends to get overlooked for Virgos, because Virgo and Pisces, number one, I'll say I was talking about the eclipses before. We're in eclipse season. We're in the eclipse series for Virgo and Pisces. So good luck to us. This is being activated. So that second eclipse in Virgo happening on the 21st. We already had a Virgo eclipse in March. So those would be, if you haven't been paying attention to those eclipses, the one that happened and one that's coming, I would definitely look at those resources that I have available, because it is a longer term period of transformation. And what I was going to say about the Virgo and Pisces axis is we tend to think of Virgo as like being a doer, being a communicator, fixing things. But Virgo is also a healer as well. So the Pisces Virgo axis is very much a healer axis. And sometimes we just need that reminder that it's not always about like doing things, or, some of the discussion we were having earlier, oh my gosh, it feels like another task. Well, getting a good night's sleep that's healing ourselves. That's a task. Shouldn't that be just a thing that we're using to tend to ourselves? And so, hopefully as a Virgo, this makes sense. And if you're not doing this already, you can understand it. Virgos tend to have some sort of a health orientation, understanding the value of health, even if we don't always do it. Paying special attention to that, and knowing that it's part of investing in yourself to grow and perfect, to progress, to up level. Thank you. I think coming back to my own self-care is always a struggle. Beautiful reminder. 10 out of 10 with you. It's really hard, and you would think, oh, well, Virgo like focuses on self-improvement, but like that's what I mean about if we're viewing things as a task that we have to get done, we lose sight of the why and the fact that we can do things to improve ourselves that allow us to unwind, to heal, to rest. Remember, Virgo's an earth sign. It wants to ground. So you could pick practices. Again, I'm veering into giving too many examples, but like maybe some of the healing modalities that you do, you're picking ones that that either you love or that you probably would like or that you haven't tried. But there's an extra emphasis on the grounding, on connecting to yourself. So it just feels like this would be like a really nice treat for you, trusting your gut that you're going to be able to navigate. Virgo has the tools. Virgo's prepared. So it's like you have it. But if you're aware that self-care is an issue, apply the tools that you're already good at. If you're someone who's super structured or likes to make a schedule, or okay, figure out a way to like leverage your existing skill set to face the obstacle. And in this case, the obstacle is taking care of yourself, allowing yourself to ground, applying the healing practices, and getting to the root, doing the deep clean, not just on the surface that like looks nice. Oh gosh, I've been in the hallway. Wow. Talk about transition. Did you relate with the first reading? Is the door I've been waiting on or any door going to open? Okay. 100%. Okay. All right. So I will tell you. So when I pulled the cards for reading number 2, I got 2 cards. So I feel like this card is the door you're waiting on. And then this one is for other doors or other options. So I will just kind of start tapping into, and again, it doesn't even really matter if I know what area of life that we're talking about or whatever the specific opportunity is that you're looking for. But I'll be able to just give you some insights on kind of what's the energy and vibe of the door you're waiting for versus other opportunities that present. So I'll just dive in from there. So I just put you in front of a door. So it's the door that you're waiting on. And you're standing there and you're like pulling on the doorknob and it's like you're jiggling the lock and you're like, why isn't it opening? And it feels like it's like there's somebody on the other side. There's people on the other side holding it. It's like the door is unlocked. It's like a prank that like kids would do where it's like you're holding the door. So they're pulling it. So there's resistance. So you can't get in. I don't mean this to say that it's conspiring, but that it's wherever you're at with spirit teams or not, it feels like it's there's a reason that you have been, blocked, that you have felt like you're waiting. It's important for you to be sitting in discomfort, sitting in uncertainty, not being able to plan and know exactly what's going to happen. The importance of being in the tension of that. So it's not it's not by accident that you are in the hallway, that you feel like you're stuck or stranded or like in limbo. That is on purpose. There are things you're supposed to be gleaning from that. And yeah, I think it's interesting with resonating with that first reading because one of the emphasis was somebody had used the word like, it's finding safety in it. How can you, when it feels uncertain, you're in that transition, you're trying to go from point A to point B, but you're stuck at like 8.5. It's not possible, but you're like stuck in the in between. And how can you kind of call back and like ground yourself in that process? So what I'm seeing is then you finally release the doorknob and you step away and you just go inward. It's like you're taking some deep breaths and there's like a kind of sparkling, like a yellow glow around you because it's like you're calling your power, your peace back. It's like your peace. Oh my gosh, it's like the amount of time, the amount of hours that you spent like talking about this, thinking about this, wondering about this. It's like trying to call some of that energy back because it's like it feels like whatever this opportunity is, however great it might be or you think it might be, it feels like you're giving a lot of yourself away for that. And it feels like it's not how it's coming in is it's not warranted. Like there's other ways to use your energy or live in a way that you're empowered versus like in waiting or in desperation of like, oh, when's that going to happen? Because that is a scarcity mindset versus the doors are going to open for me rather than you having to go to the door and like, I just want it to open. I want it to open. It's like the right door will open, that you can stand in the hallway. You can totally ground yourself out and just be like, well, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. And the right door is going to open. And it will open when you're ready, when you have done that healing. So again, if you resonate at all with the second reading, this could be the way of putting the two of them together, but it's some sort of a grounding practice, which is from the first reading. Be still and know. Yes, exactly. That it's the deep trust, it's the deep certainty. Like it's going to open. And it might be a door behind me. It might be a door that I passed on the way in, beelining for this door, that I'm just not thinking about it. And sometimes it's because we have blinders, we're in a certain headspace or stress or tunnel vision, whatever it is that's going on. And we have to be able to come back to ourselves to ground out, to do that, the clearing of that fog, of the stress, of the concern. so that then we can know what to do next, or just be able to call it in, to be able to have the abundance to call it in. Great card for this. Integrate. Now is the time to integrate all I've gathered. So you're aware of this. You know you've put the work in. So maybe whatever the opportunity, I'm just going to use this as an example. It might not be, but let's say that the door that you're talking about is, maybe it's a job that you're applying for, or a career change that you're trying to make. Well, what does somebody do for that? You redo your resume, you get references, or you put in extra work or take on different responsibilities in your current role to build up your resume. Whatever those steps are in this example, you have to put work in to then get to the point where you can harvest, where you can get that promotion or apply to that different job. Like you take a class, just to keep listing examples, get a certification, whatever the thing is that you put work in. And so to harvest it, you can't pick before it's ready. When it's ready to be harvested, you'll know it, you'll see it, and you just refer back. You refer back to the tools that you have gathered, that you have accumulated, your skill set. You're trusting. You're like, I know what I'm doing. I work really hard. I'm great. Whatever applies to this situation. You're patting yourself on the back. You're not chasing. You just know, I am worthy. I put in the effort, the sweat equity, and it's going to come to me. This doesn't mean you do nothing, but it means you don't have to be in chasing, or I mentioned desperation. You don't have to be like, oh, when's the door going to open? When's the door going to open? If you've done the things that you should do, or that you know in your gut that you need to do, then it's trusting. It's waiting for the fruits of your labor to be ready to be picked. The second option was just another door. So that was like for the door that you've been waiting to open. Everything I just said was about that opportunity that you've been trying to get or hoping that you can get. So then for number 2, this feels like this is just an addendum that was like 2/3 of it, and this is just like kind of an additional piece. Because I mentioned the door behind you. So this is like, if this is the door behind you, or the one way at the other end of the hall that like it's so far away you can't even see it. Basically, this is referring to the door or doors that are in your blind spot, or because you've had your blinders on, you didn't even know those options were there. So I see you sitting down on the floor. So you're sitting cross-legged and you have like a little top that you're spinning on the ground. And so you're just waiting. It's almost like when people do like spin the bottle and you're like, oh, where's it going to land? Where's it going to stop? It's like you're randomizing it. You're really leaning into just fully letting go and trusting the experience. And again, the sense of randomizing it, of just caution to the wind. Again, we're getting wind from that first reading. Detaching from outcome. That's a really great way to manifest, to call something in, is that you just go, screw it. I'm just going to apply for this, or I'm just going to do that. And if it works out, it works out. But you just like truly don't care, because you know and trust, like what we were talking about before, things are going to work out, or that, your current situation is like, okay, you can make it work, keep going. And that, the adjustment will come as the adjustment comes, and you have other options. So you don't put all your eggs in the one basket. So that like kind of randomizing piece is like, whatever, like I'll just do this. That's fine. Been in credentialing, waiting on a fieldwork internship, just applied financially for school as a backup. No fancy finances without work income, but leaving out to university. Yeah. Okay. So it is a combination of, like learning and work as well. Okay. So for this kind of randomized, caution to the wind, totally in your blind spot, option or avenue, I should say. So there's one tiny thing before I can actually flip over the card. What am I missing? Okay, so I saw you spinning spinning the tops, you're randomizing it, and then you just like flop on the ground and you're doing like as if snow angels in this hallway. Like you just check out. You're just like, I literally don't even care. I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to do other things with my time. I'm going to entertain myself in this hallway rather than just sitting around like, when's the door going to open? Or which one of these other ones is going to open? Like just allowing yourself to really separate from it, because all you're doing is just creating worry, as I mentioned before. Perfect. The perfect card, and really great for these two of them together. This is the focus card. I focus on what's working. What is not working is stressing yourself out, getting in your head, thinking about the negative. You say, what are my skills? Which ones are working? What am I, quote unquote, doing right? What is allowing me to be more efficient, to save time? What are the things that bring me joy, that allow me to have fun so that this isn't such a stressful process? Like whatever that is, this is trying to think about the big picture. It's thinking about the positives. It's thinking about hope and potential and not getting sucked into what's broken or what's not going the way that you think you want, because maybe it's not supposed to go that way. Maybe it is supposed to be what's in the blind spot. Maybe one of those other doors that is behind you, that's way down the hallway that you can't see, opens up. And then you have to assess it and say, all right, well, what works about this opportunity? Like something that people tend to forget when we're applying to jobs or programs or whatever it is, we're interviewing them. We think like, oh, I'm on an interview, like, I hope I get accepted, or I hope that they give me the job offer, that I get into this program, or, whatever it is. And we tend to forget, like, no, we're vetting them. We have to determine, like, do I want to be in this program? Do I want to work for you? And we have to kind of flip the script in our head so that we can be in the seat of power, that we can understand our worth of all of our skills and everything that we put up, put out and into the world. So when you have the two of these together, it's like you can be in charge. You can trust the process. Focus on the positives, but not ignoring, not being like blindly like ignorant to things that aren't working. Being practical, but not letting yourself get sucked into, I'm stuck in the hallway. It's like, okay, well, I'm just going to have fun while I'm waiting. I'm going to not care while I'm waiting. I'm going to remind myself that, focus on what's working, including my skills, the work that I've put in, the hours I've put in, my investment, and making sure that I really care about this before I take my shot, before I go for this. Because I think this is what I want, but if I reassess it, if I cross-reference with my resume, with what I have to offer, with what my bandwidth is, with my cup, my finances, etc. And again, this is not do I have enough, because we're being optimistic here. So when she's looking at what she has, it's not like, oh, do I have enough like to pay for this? We have to be in some sort of a sense of abundance and positivity. It's just about having the opportunity come to you by being optimistic, hopeful, abundant, focusing on the positive, including what it is that you do have, rather than saying, oh, well, I don't have enough. I have a half a cup. Well, you have a half a cup. That's wonderful. Some people have an empty cup. So it's trying to use the two of these in tandem to kind of like psychologically help you navigate through the situation, and then also to vet what comes up. We don't want to just take the first thing. We really want to make sure it's working. It allows us to use our skill set. It doesn't drain us because we're giving more than what we have, than what we can do right now. Powerless over outcome, doing next right things and turning it over to God, but credit card over limit, so fear is lurking. Yeah, then I know you said that 2 minutes ago, so hopefully what I just said helps, and this feels very, very mental. It's about how are you approaching the situation, your current state, and then also like when something does happen, how are you approaching it? You want to look back at what you have, not what you don't have. Focus on what's working. You want to make sure that it is aligned with you before you go for it, and that you can continue to grow and plant seeds, and that you're watering them. When we harvest, we don't just plant the seed and walk away. We have to water. So we put in that steady work. We're proud of ourselves. We're acknowledging what we have done. Say, yay, I did such a great job watering. Look at the fruits of my labor. This is wonderful. I am so worthy and deserving of an opportunity that's a good fit for me, not just some random thing. Full moon Sunday's harvest moon. Perfect. And we got a full moon right here.